Scanning for audio.
Hello and welcome to another Tin Dog podcast discussing the Time Tunnel. Now this is only volume 2, and it feels like there should have been more, but this is only volume 2 of Owen Allen's The Time Tunnel, The Dimension of Time. This release contains adult material, may not be suitable for younger listeners, although to be fair, when I was listening to it, I couldn't spot any of that. There's only going to be 1,000 CDs made, and it will not be repressed. Okay. Previous releases are The Nightmare Begins, which I've reviewed, and there's no mention of the next box set, but I really hope there's another one because it ends on a cliffhanger, but that's for the future. We're talking now. Let's have a proper discussion. Captain Lewis Harworth, young hacker MB, dark web operative Cole Smith, and marine biologist Claire McGregor found themselves in a changed world controlled by the sinister Rakovia. In a secret military base in Arizona, they've reactivated the time tunnel and set out across history on a mission to track down the lost scientists Tony Newman and Doug Phillips and restore the world as it should be. You were with us so far? Yeah. Do you remember the 60s TV series? Used to be shown on Channel 4 in the late 80s, early 90s. Yeah, we've covered all this before. So basically, what they've done is they've done a continuation of the time tunnel, and it just works. Now, the important bit for this, before I start going into, production and all that business, because let's face it, Gary Russell knows what he's doing, right? And there were some themes which were similar to, what was it called, Sky and things like that, but not this time. No. Here we've got a definite continuation, because we've got different authors present as well. I mean, we've got Mark B. Oliver doing Families and Lies, which is set on June the 28th, 1969. You've got Divine Intervention by Lisa McMullen, absolutely great, and Rendezvous with Tomorrow by Gary Hopkins, again, all brilliant stories. These are tremendously high-hitting stories. Is that even a thing? I don't know. Look, basically they're great. Story number 1. Families and Lies. Cole arrives alone in Greenwich Village, Manhattan on Saturday, the 28th of June 1969, the day before the Stonewall Uprising. With Lewis and MB nowhere to be found, he forges a new friendship, but they have their own troubles. Inside Project TikTok's control room, Claire must persuade Elenia that reuniting her friends is in all their interests. So you've got obviously the now bit of the storyline, which takes place in 2025, and then in the alternate universe Rakovia type thing. Now these people that are involved in the story, basically time reset itself here to have this fascist state running the entire world, and the daughter of the glorious leader is the one responsible for resetting time. That and some mad, treacherous Scottish guy scientist. So that's Project TikTok's bit. That's the bit in the now section. And in the past, we've got, the Stonewall Uprising. Now, I know that when Doctor Who came out, one of its big things was to educate, yeah? But here we've got an American version of the time tunnel because they're travelling through history. It's a bit more quantum leapy, but you know what I mean? They're going to travel through basically the Earth's history. So it's Doctor Who light, yeah? But it's still very much its own thing. And Gary Russell taken the pure essence of the original and the fact that it didn't actually finish and then sorted out and given us this. And it's great. I mean, it's just a really nice take on it. Genuinely absorbing, takes you there, and like I said, Doctor Who was meant to be an educational thing. And that's what this is. Because, for my sins, I didn't know a lot about the Stonewall Rights, and to be fair, it's more likely to make me go away and learn more, rather than use this as a primary text. Yeah? And of course the people out there will kick off, no, it's all about the walking, forget all that nonsense. This is a historical time which is not great for anyone involved. And yet it was the spark, the beginning of something marvellous. And again, history is trying to be written on all sides on this one. So it's nice to have something to anchor in on this one. So that's what's happening there. Yes, there's a trans character. Yes, people can kick off about that. I don't give a damn. It's just a cracking story. Story 2, Divine Intervention. Now this one's, well, very historical. MB and Cole find themselves in 15th century France towards the end of the 100 Years' War. Oh my God, do you remember doing the 100 Years' War at school? Which didn't even last 100 years, it was 112 or 96, I can't remember. Depends on your point of view, but let's face it, that's history for you. MB and Cole follow the footsteps of the Doctors Newman and Phillips aboard... Oh, no, I skipped there. MB and Cole find themselves in 15th century France towards the end of the 100 Years' War. It's France versus England, but MB and Cole are lining up on the side of France, along with the Maid of Orleans herself, Joan of Arc. Is she a witch, a heretic, or a feminist revolutionary, or all of the above? You know what? It's great. It's surprising, and you know what? I think this kind of story, Doctor Who would no longer touch with a barge pole. It might have been done by the first Doctor, perhaps the second Doctor at a push. But once Doctor Who became firmly ensconced in the whole let's not do religious stories, this was never going to be a Doctor Who story, and that's fine. Because then you'd be like, well, is she actually under the influence of someone or anything like that? No. She believes she's got a hotline to God, and that's where it begins and ends. Because here the science fiction is more just getting you there and getting you out of there. People are not likely to survive the past. The past is a dangerous place. Let's kid this person out with a shield. You can't even lift it. That's the kind of world we're in here. And then we've got episode 3. And let's face it, this is a monumental trip. Rendezvous with Tomorrow, April the 15th, 1912, which, if you know your time tunnel, is also the date that the very first episode of the Time Tunnel is set. The Time Tunnel? Time Tunnel, you know what I mean. I know majority, but let's not discuss the Time Tunnel, because that doesn't get you anywhere fast. MB and Cole follow in the footsteps of Doctors Newman and Phillips aboard the doomed passenger ship the Titanic in the year 1912. There seems, after all, history can be rewritten. Clara McGregor, meanwhile, discovers that the past can read in different ways. Is it possible that the journey's end might be in sight? This is the most science fictional of all of the episodes so far, and it makes things even more complicated. The mini shudder and a host of other things that are going on in this series are brilliant. I am thoroughly enjoying this, and I will be so annoyed if it just finishes and fizzles out. Please, can we have more? At least 2 more box sets. Just finish this off. Even 1 more would do. It's just a cracking series of adventures. And if you are thinking, oh, I just miss something different from Doctor Who, but something a bit Doctor Who adjacent, yes, this, try this. Okay? Have a trailer, listen for yourself, and decide for yourself as always. Until next time, be seeing you.
From Big Finish Productions, The Time Tunnel, The Dimensions of Time.
Imagine a world in which no one has to die ever again, other than from old age. In which wars, famines, disasters of any sort never take place.
You broke into this establishment with Captain Lewis Howarth and a dark web hacker who goes by the name of MB. They entered the time tunnel several days ago, and now the other hacker, Cole Smith, has joined them somewhere in time.
RMS Titanic, Liverpool. No prizes for guessing what happens next, then?
It is her. It's Joan of actual Arc.
Stay exactly where you are. Anyone who makes a sudden move will be shot. Is that understood?
There's something wrong with this ship. Something unnatural.
You should be very scared of me.
I am very scared of you. You walk into my husband's cell and the next thing he's dead.
What will become of me? Of you? You say that I will drive the enemy from Orleans, but what then? Will I die in battle? I am not afraid to die.
That's handy.
He didn't have to die! He still doesn't have to die! There's still time if we go back now!
For God's sake, just shut up and let me concentrate. The temporal wave is inducing instability in the time tunnel.
Big Finish, for the love of stories.
That was the Tin Dog Podcast. All topics discussed are the intellectual property of the copyright owners. No infringement is intended. Why not follow the show on Blue Sky at tindogpodcast.bsky.social. If you've enjoyed this podcast on YouTube, please click like and subscribe. To contact the show, email tin-dog@hotmail.co.uk. The Tin Dog Podcast is a founder member of the Doctor Who Podcast Alliance.
There's feeling good, and there's feeling pure Jim good.